All right, thank you very much, Kev. Hey, T-Mac, you know what I say about Curry? He makes it look effortless.
You know what?
Come on.
My boy right here. No.
You get nothing
I
from
like
him.
that. I like that. But what I like even better, my boy say barbecue chicken, curry chicken.
Curry chicken.
And since we're on the subject of Curry, we might as well give him that MVP trophy now. That boy is a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
I like that, Ernie.
Yeah.
I like that one.
45 tonight.
Ernie, he's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, we got all the highlights. We got a little BP with the pitcher, Tracy McGrady, on the hill tonight.
Little whip.
It's all on Inside.
It's all yours, Curry. Woo. That was fun to watch right there, boy.
Inside the NBA comes your way live from Studio J in Atlanta on another doubleheader night. Man, all I'm going to say is I cannot wait for the playoffs to get here. It'll be the weekend after next. We still got a few games to play and a lot of things to sort out in the regular season. But tonight, Golden State won for the 64th time.
What is this guy doing?
I'm feeding Stephen Curry.
You were actually
thirsty after that performance.
You were actually feeding Curry. You're actually feeding Jerry West.
No disrespect to Jerry West, but 2015, this is Stephen Curry right here.
Golden State 116 to 105. They are 64 and 15. They've won 15 straight at home. Only teams to beat them in Oracle, San Antonio and Chicago did it in overtime, but nobody else able to beat the Warriors in their gym. Let's get to the highlights of this one, and there were plenty, and most of them coming from that guy.
Absolutely.
Say, Coach, take me out the game.
You gotta help.
I ain't no helping no sister. I don't go.
6 fouls. 6 fouls.
116-105 the final, 45 for Curry, his 16th game of at least 30, his third of at least 40, and you saw the shot of Aaron Aflalo on the bench for Portland, too, with an apparent shoulder injury, and he's the guy who's had to step up with Wesley Matthews out, and now if Aflalo's out, that hurts the Portland Trailblazers.
Can we clap for Curry? Can we?
Yeah, we'll put this graphic up here, 19 points in the fourth quarter.
Ernie, can I ask the Hall of Famer Issiah a question?
Sure.
Great game today. A lot of incredible shots. Now, playoffs going to slow down a little bit. Can he do that for 7 games? Can maybe do it for 1 or 2, but can he play like that for 7 games, hitting up all those crazy shots?
At home he can.
At home he can?
Yeah.
Normally, you don't play this freely in the playoffs. You don't play with this type of relaxation that you running around and you're just popping shots from everywhere, because every shot counts and every mistake you make is magnitude, and the other team takes advantage of it. So will we see this type of performance, this type of relaxed Curry shooting in the playoffs? Probably not, because everything is magnified. But during the course of the regular season, what we've seen is legit. Now, will it drop off that dramatically? No. But you won't see what you saw tonight in terms of this type of freedom where you just run around and shoot and drop it. I hope we do, though, because it was fun to watch.
Yeah. What keeps Golden State from winning the Western Conference?
San Antonio. I was with them the year we lost to Miami in the finals. We played them, and defensively, I think we did a great job of guarding the three-point line. They didn't shoot uncontested jumpers like that, and that's what San Antonio is good at. The bigs do a great job of helping out the guards on those guys coming off those pick and rolls.
And Underdog, what'd you say? Golden State has lost 32 in a row in San Antonio. And San Antonio is certainly a team not afraid to go on the road and beat you in your gym, and they've already beaten Golden State in their gym this season.
And not only that, they're definitely battle tested. You know, their guys have been together a long time. They've seen some of the greatest players ever come to the Western Conference. So, you know, we may be a little impressed with what we see tonight, but Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, they've seen it before. And right now they're riding the backs of Kawhi Leonard. He's confident. He played him last week. He ripped him in the middle of the floor. Yeah. You ain't making me fall, baby. Ripped him in the middle of the floor, took it back, threw it down. So the Spurs will definitely be ready if they do meet. And I kind of have to agree with T-Mac. If that matchup happens, I kind of favor the Spurs.
Meantime, Portland, because they're the division champ, they're going to be one of the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference. But it's looking more and more likely that they will have to open on the road, because they lose tonight and go to 51 and 28 on the year. If he is out for a a portion of the playoffs. If this is a bad shoulder injury, and again, we do not know, what does that do to Portland?
Well, it hurts them significantly because not only have they lost Matthews, now they lose Afalo, two of their perimeter players that they really count on. And they have Lillard and they have Batum who can play out on the perimeter. But in order for their offense to really be successful and to click on all cylinders, they need that third perimeter scorer, that third perimeter shooter. And also what Afalo brought was toughness and defense, similar to what Matthews brought. So this is a big loss for them if he's out.
And what was his diagnosis, Ernie, Aflalo? What happened?
Well, they're just looking at the shoulder right now. There's been nothing official.
Man up. Get some Issiah, Aflalo.
That was
Man up.
You know what? That was just so
Man
Some sympathy.
take advantage of the injury to a player.
Walgreens, Eckert's, right there in the house.
This guy has no sympathy.
Man up, Aflalo. The playoffs are coming. Icy hot.
You combined, I think you combined two commercials with that one. Meantime, the Kumho Tires race for 8th in the Western Conference. It has come down to New Orleans and Oklahoma City, and right now, New Orleans, they're tied, but New Orleans wins the tiebreaker by virtue of their 3-1 regular season. Now look down the stretch. New Orleans home with the Suns, and then they go to Houston, they go to Minnesota, they finish up at home against San Antonio. Oklahoma City has got Sacramento at home, then they go to Indiana, they're home against Portland, then they go to Minnesota to close things out. A lot of it depends on that Wednesday game for New Orleans against the Spurs. If things are not settled and San Antonio has to play, then you're going to see the Spurs. But if things are already settled, maybe Pop sits down a number of San Antonio Spurs for that one.
Yeah, the scary thing, though, is when Pop sit guys down,
They're still playing.
Absolutely.
it's not like it's not like you're doing me a favor, Pop, when you say we're gonna sit some guys out, because now you bring those other guys in and they still beat us.
Do you see New Orleans hanging on to that spot?
Who has the tiebreaker?
New Orleans does.
I see both of those teams over the next 4 games going 2-2.
So New Orleans would make it.
Yeah, I think New Orleans gets it.
Wow. What?
Yeah, New Orleans.
Well,
New Orleans.
You thinking of your next commercial?
Nope. However, New Orleans, the Soda Shack has just dropped it. Be sure to check it out. Shack Fruit Punch coming soon.
All right, enough.
Man up, Aflalo.
When we come back, the story from Miami. Bulls and Heat highlights on the way. Thanks to the coaches for wearing the mics. Now the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, and this is going to be very beneficial. This is just not a sponsored item, guys. We are going to figure out who's going to have the 8 spot, because I'm going to get you 3 to weigh in. Boston has at Cleveland and home against Cleveland, home against Toronto, and Wednesday at Milwaukee. What do they finish with those 4 games? A home and home with the Cavs, home with Toronto, at Milwaukee.
2-2.
3-1.
3-1.
1-3.
Let's see, that doesn't help me at all. We'll go 2-2.
Oh man, 1-3.
No, because we have 3 different opinions, so we'll go 2-2 there. Brooklyn is going home against the Wiz, at Milwaukee, home against the Bulls, home against the Magic.
2-2.
2-2.
2-2. Maybe we're not going to solve anything here. Indiana at Detroit, home against OKC, home against the Wiz, at Memphis.
1-3. Yeah. 1-3.
2-2.
I'm going to go 1-3. Had 2 of them there.
What kind of test is this?
Miami home with the
You write your own
Raptors.
answer
Miami's home with the Raptors, home with the Magic, and finish at Philly.
2-1.
2-1, I agree. Okay, so as I do the math, that's 37-45 for the Heat. Indiana, 36-46. And these guys are both 2-2. 38-44, 38-44. That looks to me like Boston and Brooklyn get 7-8.
I agree with the math.
I like it.
We didn't even do
that again?
Didn't even,
Where's Miami at on that?
37-45.
They finished
And where's Brooklyn?
9th, 10th.
44
Got
losses.
it.
This was a bad loss for Miami.
It was. I think it's a
just-
crusher for them.
Yeah.
I really do. When you're up 19 in your gym and a chance to close the gap and you don't get it done, man, that hurts.
Yeah, it does. it's demoralizing. It deflates you, and you heard Coach Spo say, "Hey, we're all frustrated." And how do you bounce back from that in the next 2 or 3 games?
Meantime, I didn't even include Milwaukee there, but I don't think they're going to go 0-4 down the stretch.
No.
Meantime, Atlanta just loves the way things are shaking out right now in the Eastern Conference because you got Cleveland 2 nailed down, Chicago currently 3. So as long as Atlanta can avoid Cleveland and Chicago until the conference finals, if the Hawks get there for the first time in their Atlanta history, then that serves them well.
Yeah, and if you're Chicago right now, you're trying to you don't want to play Cleveland in the second round.
But you come back from 19 down in Miami and win the game tonight.
So going, if you end up 4 or 5, you're okay.
Yeah, but I heard Joakim Noah say it don't matter who we play. They're ready for Cleveland.
Oh, it matters.
And they're a confident bunch. But for the last couple of years, they thought they can beat Cleveland. When LeBron played in the past. So
if Chicago,
be careful what you ask for.
If we can have the Chicago team that played against Cleveland like they did before the break, then I will give them a chance. But with D Rose hobbling, Jimmy Butler, we don't know his status. I don't see it.
And the Hawks, meantime, lose Thabo Cephalosha.
Yeah.
It turns out he broke his ankle in whatever happened outside that club in New York at 4 o'clock in the morning. And he has not been an integral part of that, but when he's in and he plays defense, but I don't.
Well, it helps when he's in and he's playing defense. And the playoffs are about matchups and about understanding who you're guarding against. Cleveland comes to the table with the 2 best offensive players in the Eastern Conference. They got LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Those are the 2 best offensive players, and they happen to be on the same team.
And they also got shot makers, too.
Yeah, so they're going to be difficult to beat in the playoffs.
Going to be very interesting. A lot of stuff's going to happen between now and the end of the season as well. When we come back, the road back with Paul George. Welcome back to Inside the NBA. Some great doubleheaders coming up on NBA TV, including Friday night. Look at that one, that first one, Spurs and Rockets. That's big. So about the Raptors and Heat, Grizzlies and Clippers on Saturday. Sunday, you got the Hawks and Wizards, the Mavs and Lakers. And Monday, Blazers and Thunder, Grizzlies and Warriors. Indiana Pacers forward Paul George suffered a devastating leg injury during a scrimmage for Team USA last August. Since then, he's been battling his way back from injury and played in his first NBA game of the season this past Sunday. Our Rachel Nichols sat down with Paul to get the inside story on how tough the journey back has been. Thank you, Rachel. Last 3 games, much better defensively for the Indiana Pacers. Still going to have to earn it to get in the playoffs, though. They got Detroit on the road Friday, then home against OKC, home against the Wizards, and they close it out at Memphis. Right now on the outside, looking in. Back here inside Studio J, and it's always nice to have guys who want to put on a little court demonstration. And this is good because I can just kind of stand aside and watch these guys go to work. What do you got on your mind tonight, Coach?
Well, we want to talk about screen and roll because we hear a lot about it, but there are 3 different ways to set a screen, and there are a lot of actions that are going on during the course of the game, and it's always described as screen and roll. But we like to just break down the intricacies of screen and roll.
The court is yours.
So, as a defender, let's say, Tracy, you the ball handler, Shaq, you'll be the screener, and I'm on defense. Now, there are 3 different ways to set a screen, and it all depends on the screener. Shaq, if you come up, I am looking at, let's say, first screen is half a body. So if he's half a body with me, Shaq is basically dictating how I'm going to react as a defender. So I got to read, if he's half a body, I have a choice of going over the top or underneath. If I go over the top, Shaq got the roll. Now, if Shaq is a selfish player and he's saying, oh, we got to fish, I'm going to roll all the time. I'm going to make Issiah chase over the top. So now we go toe-to-toe. If Shaq set this screen and we're toe-to-toe, he's forcing me now to either chase over or go under. And if I go under, T-Mac got the shot, okay? Shaq is rolling. So that's second way. Third way, now Shaq is going to definitely say, I'm going to make him go over the top because now I want this dunk. And now when I chase over the top, Ernie, you got to come up and help because you're the big man, and that leaves Shaq wide open. So when we talk about screen and roll, there's more to it than just a guy coming up, setting the screen, you hit the body. There's a lot of footwork involved that happens. And that guard, that's why you always see guards, when the screen is coming, you'll see guards doing this. We always looking, we always checking just to see what type of screen we're getting ready to get hit with. Are we getting hit with a half a body? Is that screener making me chase over the top? Is that screener making me go below? And I got to read and decipher all this in less than a half a second, and I'm guarding a guy like you. So if I go underneath, you stopping for the shot. If I'm chasing, now I'm behind. Ernie's got to help. Shaq's got the dunk. Half a body. So there, and San Antonio does it the best. You'll see Duncan, you'll see Parker, you'll see Ginobili. They change the angles of the screen. So it's not just a screen and roll. You're getting hit with 6, 7 different picks.
What makes a good pick and roll defender?
What makes a good pick and roll defender is now I got to be able to read all of this. So as I'm reading it, Shaq, okay, am I getting hit with half a body? If I get hit with half a body, now I can spin and catch. When I spin and catch, now they reverse the screen and come back. Okay, now when they reverse it and come back, which we see a lot, okay, now I need help from my big. If I get help from my big, I'm automatically chasing. As I'm automatically chasing, now we can level it off.
As a shooter and a good pick and roll player, if I see that you're spinning off of that screen, there's no way I'm going to keep dribbling. I'm just going to rise up. So I'm going to read my defender and see what he's doing and how he's playing it. What I don't understand is a lot of guys get away from the push up and through if there's a great shooter.
Yeah.
Big man, push him up, you easily get through and guard this guy, meet him on the other side. You still can contest the shot even if he's a great shooter. I don't see enough of that. I saw it when I was first coming in the league, but nowadays guys play it pretty much the same way.
Yeah, and you have to figure out in less than half a second what type of screen you're getting hit with, how that offensive player is going to react to it, and most importantly, what's the other team's offensive strategy and what's your defensive strategy? And the big guys who are really good at it, the Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, they play games with you. I mean, really, they do. So, Duncan will come up, he'll hit you here. Then he'll come back, he'll hit you over here. He may get you with an up screen. And before you know, that guard is like spinning all around, looking for the screen. Where's he coming from? And Tony Parker's laying it up.
Hope y'all were taking notes. That was great stuff. When we come back, what?
I wasn't known for pick and rolls. I was known for this. Stu Jackson, he flopping. He flopping.
That was not a flop.
That was not
a flop.
Stu Jackson, he flopping.
That was not a flop.
Jackson, final.
You got $5,000, Zeke?
No,
I need 5,000. Okay, Shaq and a Fool comes your way next. Exactly what we've accomplished here tonight, no one knows, but it sure has been fun. That's a wrap for Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, and here's the last pitch of the night. Oh, there it is. My old man, Ernie Sr., there you go. Milwaukee Braves. T-Mac, great being with you. Issiah, Shaq, that's a wrap for Inside, presented by Kia, and thanks to the entire crowd.
Hey, show that replay. Show that again.
Stuff right there, T-Mac. Good stuff. See y'all next week. Playoffs are almost here.